Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, my brother. Without ado, and last but not least, I'd like to call the National Coloured Congress to come to the fore and address members of the media.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. The NCC is not part of the GNU, but when called in the interest of the poor in the country, the NCC decided to join. And we had our discussion, and we made our input. And I must tell you, in all honesty, our input was minimal, because on entering the room, we could sense that there was a commitment here to do away with that. There was no real fight. I want to applaud every one of the 11 parties here today, and I want to say thank you on behalf of the poor people of this country. But this is no victory. It's just a step in the right direction. We'll start winning when we start reducing that. That's the day we pop champagne, SG. I want to ask the media to please remember, people like Ashley Kriel and Solomon Mshlango died so that you could be our watchdogs. When I say our, I mean all of us. When I switched my television on this morning, I was nauseated, because a party that is part of the GNU was claiming a VAT victory despite the fact that there was no court ruling. As if our 3 weeks of hard talks and disagreements meant nothing. Our people died so that white people would never again talk down to us or belittle us. Today the media allowed them to. As if us, people of color, standing right here in front of you, our IQ, our intellect, our ability was challenged on TV. The Democratic Alliance played no part in this. This was our work. This was us coming together saying, let us put our differences aside and understand why we are here. The media needs to tell John Steenhuisen that I doubt that he's smart enough to be a strategist, and Alan Zille is too old to be a diva. Because I remember a very famous DA member once saying, what is bad for the country is good for the DA. These people create crisis because they expect all people of color to be stupid. They must be honest and say, we would have voted for the VAT if you allowed us to own the ports, the roads, and the rails. If you allowed us to turn the Western Cape into a bigger version of Aranya, we would have no problem with a 0.5% VAT increase. If you had allowed us to keep your children caught up in gutter education, we would have voted for the VAT increase. If we had allowed us to hold on to your stolen land, we would have voted for the VAT increase. I wish Helen Zille's surgeon would inject some truth into that Botox, because nothing but lies comes out of that mouth. This right here was an issue of this country's very security. Our lives were at stake. But you see, white supremacy thinks nothing of playing with the lives of the poor. We stand here with major differences. I have very little in common with Rise Mzansi. I have very little in common with Bosa. But today, they are our comrades. We can't be full-time opposition. There are days when you have to work together. The Democratic Alliance chooses to be an opposition within a government, however that might make sense. The NCC is proud to have done a service to South Africa today, and we look forward to doing many more. Thank you.